industry where the young are teaching the young. That's how an EKU flight instructor describes the aviation industry.
And that appeared to be the case in a deadly plane crash in Ohio County. Late last month, 22-year-old flight instructor Timothy McKellar Jr. and 18-year-old student pilot Connor Quisenberry died. The NTSB says severe weather caused that crash.
WKYT's Jessica Umbro talked with the flight instructor about this young industry. Our top story at 4:30.
Millions of Americans learn to drive a car every year, and while learning to fly a plane is typically less common, Professor Sean Howard of EKU tells me it's becoming more common with the demand for instructors on the rise, and that means some instructors are not too far out from being students themselves.
Flight instruction is, by its very nature, it does carry a bit more risk than, say, riding on an airline. That's just the nature of the business.
Professor Howard says roughly 80% of all flight instructors have less than a year of experience.
In the most part, it's the young teaching the young. It's constant turnover, and the only people that don't turn over is the core folks like me who are kind of ending out their career and looking at retirement.
He says many flight instructors stop teaching, instead opting to fly for a commercial airline.
In about a year's time, they get their 1,000 hours and they have an airline class date and off they go.
Professor Howard tells me that he goes over crashes like the one in Ohio County with his students, going over the stressful and unpredictable situations that they could encounter and how to feel more confident as they're navigating the skies. In Lexington, Jessica Umbro, WKYT.
An investigation by the National Transportation Safety Board found that heavy rains were to blame for the crash.